Hello, Scott Posley with Imperfection Wellness, and today I'm making a video in response to a comment I got. It was a great comment. Just please keep the feedback coming. Leave comments below. Like and subscribe. These videos are fun to make, and I love sharing this information. But the comment made was, I made a video on letting go of control. And the person said, that's it? Like, I don't feel like you gave much information. You talked about control, but you really didn't go deeper into what we can do to let go of control. And I think that's where we're wanting a magic pill. And I'm here to tell you there isn't one. I searched for the Holy Grail. I searched for the magic pill. I searched for that light switch moment. And I've had light switch moments where the light goes on and you're like, wow. But I've also had light switch moments where the light goes off and I'm like, damn. And that's where I want to come and talk to you today about having a daily wellness practice. You don't brush your teeth just once and then hope for the best. You don't just fill your car up with gas once and hope you can drive from coast to coast. There are repetitive behaviors that we do each and every day, and that's why I'm trying to give bite-sized wellness that you can take with you, because it starts with these micro moments. And I talk to so many people who want the magic pill. There isn't one. Now, as you may know, I'm a physician assistant by training. I've worked in some of the most amazing medical centers here in New York City, and I'm not knocking anyone prescribing medications. But we are living in a time where people are like, well, can I get a prescription? I've done it myself. We want that quick fix. And so what I tell people is we start small. And in that letting go of control video, I talked about awareness. I'm always going to recommend people go to my website, imperfectionwellness.com. Download Posley's Paradigm for free and look at it. Start somewhere, but we start with awareness. I'm aware that I'm looking for control because I believe if I can control things, things will be okay. There's no guarantee. There's no master life insurance policy. I love the power of prayer. And to me, the power of prayer is meditation. It's your personal mantra. And I rarely ask for anything other than strength. Give me the strength to get through this. Give me the strength to see something differently. Give me the strength to hear an opinion that doesn't resonate with me. And instead of fighting with that person, have a conversation. Because there's a lot of anger and fear and vitriol. And to me, that's all ego. My paradigm hinges on the concept of ego. And ego is a simple one-word explanation for something so complex because it's more than ego, as I've come to realize. It's trauma from the past. It's our patterned behaviors from childhood. It's our neural pathways. It's how we cope and respond. It's that insecure child. It's that fear-based mechanism. It overcompensates sometimes saying I'm better than. It undercompensates sometimes saying I'm less than. But at the root of so much of it is fear. And when we realize that, what's going on in our world today is fear-based. There isn't enough to go around, so I need to take more for me. And if you really look at many of the root causes of modern history, dating back for hundreds, if not thousands of years, considering that modern history, there's always been strife. There's always been horrific things happening. And when we look at our history, I do believe it comes down to that scared ego. I wrote a book on Posley's Paradigm called More Than My Thoughts, and it opens with a quote. The greatest atrocity to affect humankind is that we believe what our thoughts say about us in the world around us. And a friend questioned me on that. She's like, but so much bad and evil is going on and has gone on in our world. How can that be the greatest atrocity? And I said, because it's the root cause. It's the foundation. When we are identified as one with ego is there's never enough. It's always lacking. It comes from a place of scarcity, of not enough. And when there's not enough, then I need more for me, even if that means hurting you, whoever you are. Now I'll take care of my inner circle, whatever that inner circle is. And I'm going to watch out for me, but for the others, forget it. And if you really look to all the war, to the conflict, to the infighting, there is no enemy from within. That was something popularized over the last few years in the United States. There is no enemy from within. There's identification with and attachment to our ego, to that voice that says there's not enough. I'm not enough. And it's scanning the environment. And that ties into our psyche, to our nervous system, to that sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight, that heightened awareness. But we don't talk about the parasympathetic enough. The rest, digest, the heal, the recovery. And that's why we come back to ourselves. I often say I'm aware there's a dumpster fire. But I don't stare at it for too long or I'll become immobilized, because what's going on in our world right now is overwhelming. In a 24/7 news cycle, it is overwhelming. The atrocities going on are overwhelming. But I'm not going to turn to hatred. I'm not going to turn to screaming and yelling at you to agree with me. That's not how we come to understand each other. I don't want to get yelled at and lectured at. And I'm pretty confident in my beliefs. I am. And there are people who wholly disagree with me. And I don't know if we could have a discussion on it, because I know I'd get heated too at what's going on in the world right now. But I'd try to do it from a place of compassion. And that's why I come back to a daily practice. And that's why I say you don't brush your teeth once and hope you never get a cavity. You don't fill your car up with gas once and try to drive cross country and hope you make it. We don't have a magic pill for wellness that just instantly makes everything better. The goal is that we don't identify with our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. Because when I don't identify as my thoughts, when I don't identify as my feelings, I'm so much better. I still have thoughts. I still have feelings. And I still have emotions. They don't define me, though. I often say, a friend of mine says to me often, I have social anxiety. And I said, flip the script. I feel anxious in social situations. That's a huge difference, because feelings pass. I did a video called The Rule of Fives. How will I feel about this situation? How will I feel in 5 hours, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years? The Rule of Fives, taught to me by a teacher. I love the Rule of Fives. Don't know if that's what it's called. That's what I call it. Because feelings change. I might feel angry today, but I'm not an angry person. And if I'm a person who feels a lot of anger all the time, there's something underneath that. We come to that awareness. We grab a copy of Posley's Paradigm and we look at the different concepts. Are we attached to, is our identity attached to something outside of us? Do I need to lean into some discomfort and let go? Do I need to surrender, forgive? Do I need an affirmation? Do I need to set an intention and perform next right action? That's the daily practice. And I start small with people. I always start small because it has to be manageable and it has to work for you. And it's one size fits some. I was talking to a colleague and they said, you have a lot of stuff on your website, probably too much stuff. It needs to be focused. That's fine. Thank you. Thank you for that feedback. You might be right. But I have a lot of stuff on my website because one resource will not resonate with you and another one might. Whether it's the podcast, whether it's a guided meditation, whether it's the beginner's wellness guide, whether it's a book that I've written, whether it's, my paradigm, learning Vedic meditation, which I teach, learning non-Vedic meditation, which I teach. Whatever it may be, we start somewhere. My favorite is mindful breathing, different mindful breathing techniques. If you've seen several of my videos, you'll know my favorite, left nostril breathing, the silly breathing technique that I don't care. I'm over it. I'm over the silliness. I do it everywhere. I was walking down the street to work the other day and I saw this woman looking at me. She could have been looking at my shoes, but in my mind, she was looking at me because I was walking down the street doing my left nostril breathing. Slow, deep breaths in and out of your left nostril. That activates your parasympathetic nervous system. That activates that calming, healing, resting, digesting, recovering nervous system. You can do it anywhere. But a lot of people aren't going to left nostril breathe. I mean, I currently live in New York City, and I would love to walk down the street and see someone else doing this. If that's you, I'm going to say something to you. Are you doing left nostril breathing? And they're like, don't talk to me. These micro practices are what set us up to succeed. They give us a foundation. Because without a foundation, we're reacting. And when we start creating a foundation, we move to responding. I often say, talk to my friends and family. They're like, ooh, he reacts. Yes, I do. But I'm getting better. We're humans. We're fallible. We stumble, we fall, we get up. We get another chance. Lately, when my alarm goes off or when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, here we go. I have another chance today. To maybe do a little better. To maybe just be. Maybe today I can just be and not worry about achieving. Just getting by. There are those days I've had. But it's something daily I'm doing. In Vedic meditation, it's a direct descendant cousin to transcendental meditation. And that just means you get a mantra. It's a Sanskrit sound vibration. And when you mentally think it to yourself, it helps you go beyond thought, transcend thought. And that's 20 minutes twice a day. And most of my friends that I've talked with said, no, I wouldn't be able to do that. Okay. What could you do? Could you do 5 minutes? Could you do 3 minutes? What if meditation wasn't for you? And by the way, most people say, oh, I can't meditate. I have too many thoughts. I have ADHD. I can't sit still. That's because you have an active nervous system. And I'm not knocking, critiquing, making any judgments. There are many with ADHD. I think devices that we constantly have dinging, pinging, ringing in our hands are creating this overwhelm where we can't just sit still. Totally fine. Totally fine. But with this technique, we learn to start sitting for a moment in silence. And that's hard for a lot of people. And that's why I recommend one of my 5-minute guided meditations, also on my website. And these are free resources. So I don't want to be plugging a website being like, what is he trying to get us to do? Utilize a free resource to help you. I struggled for so many years. I was lost. I was overwhelmed. I didn't feel I had a place to go. And I'm trying to create a quote unquote one-stop shop with free to low-cost resources to help people. But that 5-minute guided meditation, what if that was your morning and your evening routine? Right when you wake up, right before you go to bed, pop your headphones in for 5 minutes. On your commute to work, couple minutes. Couple breathing, couple minutes of left nostril breathing or box breathing. Whatever it is that works for you. I created it's called the Daily Wellness Deck. It's a deck of cards that you pull a card every day and it reaffirms, it supports. It's kind of like your little personal cheerleader. And everything I sell on my website, it's basically at cost. So it's not for profit. It's really, putting action behind it. I really do want to create resources for everybody. And you might not be able to afford the wellness deck. So click on free resources and click on the Daily Wellness Deck. I've digitized it and put it on my website. So go to the website every day and grab your digital card. Write something on a Post-it note and put it on your mirror. But not just on your mirror, put it where your face is in the mirror. Because I have a Post-it note on the side of my mirror and I started forgetting about it a couple days after I put it up. So now I put it up where my face is. So it forces me to look around it and be like, well, what am I supposed to read? What's my reminder? WWWT. What went well today? That's what my current Post-it on my mirror says. What went well today? It's easy for me to slide into this pattern behavior of focusing on lack, on what didn't go well. And when we focus on what's going well, it doesn't negate our bad day. It's not toxic positivity where I say, oh, I'm fine, I'm happy, everything's great. No. It's I'm struggling and what can I be grateful for? That's what this is about. So whatever your daily practice is, start small, start somewhere, and try to hardwire it. Again, under my free resources, I have a wellness starter kit. And in that wellness starter kit, it has a little project tracker that for 30 days you can try to track your progress. And 30 days is great. And if you miss a couple days, get back on, because we need to be each other's cheerleaders. Get a wellness buddy. Depending on when you're watching this, one of my dreams is to have a weekly group where we come and talk wellness topics and do active Q&As with each other. And trying to get that momentum is tough. It's a challenge. And instead of stopping and shutting down, I keep rethinking, how could I do this? So for those of you watching this video in September 2025, there might not be a weekly wellness group yet. But if you're watching this in 2026, there might be. Or there might not. There might be something else. But I know for me, daily wellness and sharing this daily wellness is helpful. And so that ties back to the original discussion point. There's not a magic pill. There's not one magic pill that works for everybody. I've searched. I've done conscious breathing. I've done somatic breathing. I've done somatic release. I've done meditation. I've put all of this into practice that really is kind of my own homegrown wellness, daily wellness. And that's what I encourage you to do. Take some things from me, take some stuff from other people, but please start small. Please be okay where every day, if you do some left nostril breathing or some square breathing, you count that as a success. Write it down. And after you do it, make a check. Checkity check. Checkity check, check, check. You did it. Celebrate the small wins. Be your own cheerleader and be someone else's cheerleader. We don't have to accept status quo. We don't have to accept fear, fear-based media, fear-based everything. We don't have to accept antagonism between two political parties or other political parties worldwide. That is fear-based. And if we lean into that, what we attend to grows. And if we attend to that, if all of our attention goes into that, if all we do all day, every day is watch that news cycle, that's going to grow and feel like it's all that's out there. But if I start with me and I attend to what's going well, then I start seeing what is going well. It doesn't negate that there's bad things going on, and I need to act And I use my voice, I use my pocketbook, I support the causes that are helping support some horrible things going on in our world. And if I look too long at that, I get lost, overwhelmed, I shut down. So I know that I can't. But instead of not acting, I do something small and then I come back to me. Because if I stop, then they've won, whoever they are. And I'm not out to knock anybody. The more that we can gather here, even if we have differences, and say there's more that unites us than divides us. Start with that daily practice. What we attend to grows. Maybe that's your post-it. WWWT. What went well today? And then underneath put what we attend to grows. Start seeing what good is happening. Start realizing we're not bad simply because of a political party affiliation. Simply because of a country we come from, the color of our skin, our ethnicity, whatever it may be. We're all humans. We're so, there's so much more that unites us than divides us. That's my current mantra. I keep repeating it over and over in all these videos because I want to try to come together. But in order to do that, we have to start with ourselves. So start today. Start with you. Start somewhere. Visit imperfectionwellness.com. Get some resources. See what works for you. I have a weekly newsletter. It's not every week. It's most weeks. But there's a free newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter. And let's commit to, taking care of ourselves. To live more authentically in present moment as true self is my goal for myself and everybody. That we stop time traveling to the past. We stop worrying about the future. And we miss out on present moment. That's what this is about. So, as always, thanks for watching and wishing you the best on your wellness journey. Till next time.